Hello everyone! Today I'm going to talk about Wormhole, the one like near the Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And this wormhole is theoretically not impossible. However, there are two challenges. Let's get started.
Mysteries of the universe.
Maybe you have heard of Wormhole, something like the one near the Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Near this Deep Space Nine space station, there's a wormhole, and then they can use this wormhole to travel to the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, or some aliens gonna come to see us. That's very convenient. You can travel very far distance instantly. This is not theoretically impossible. The reason is here. According to Einstein's general relativity, strong gravity can bend the space-time. So, this is a famous example, but when you're traveling from A to from point B, someplace in the universe, and then A to B, if you travel in a straight line, it's a very long distance. But if you can bend the space-time like this, then you punch a hole from A to B like this. Then you travel through a hole, then distance is much closer than traveling this way. So this is two-dimensional example of a wormhole. And this is theoretically not impossible because using gravity we can, because gravity can bend the space-time. However, there are two challenges. The one challenge is we never know where to make a hole. Now this is a two-dimensional example, and then we people live in a three-dimensional space. So we know if we punch a hole from here to here, then that's a shortcut that we know. But for example, if you're a bug living on a two-dimensional surface of the paper, then you never know where you punch a hole and then it leads to your destination B, because you cannot see. You're living in a two-dimensional space, you cannot see up and down. You can only see front, back, left and right. So it's very difficult to know where you punch a hole. If you punch a hole in a different place, then it might lead to more distant destination that you don't want to go. This is a very difficult problem. This is the first challenge. The second challenge is once you create a wormhole, it's very difficult to keep it open, because when we make a wormhole, we use gravity to bend the space-time, right? Then this gravity is pulling force. So gravity is going to eventually shrink the wormhole, and then wormhole is going to collapse and then disappears. So that's the problem. It's very, very difficult to keep the wormhole open. Here's how it works. So this is a picture from Kip Thorne, Nobel Prize laureate's book. You create a wormhole like this figure D. That's fine, right? You can travel from top to the bottom. But because you use gravity to create wormhole, so this gravity is going to shrink the wormhole like E, and then eventually in F, wormhole is going to be closed because of the gravity. So this always happens when you use gravity, because gravity is a pulling force. That's the second challenge. Kip Thorne and his student in his paper, they explored every possible configurations of gravity where you can keep wormhole open. And then the answer is they need exotic matter, something with negative mass. And if you have a negative mass, gravity is also negative. So instead of pulling force, negative mass object is going to have a repulsing gravity. If you have this kind of matter, you can use it to keep the wormhole open. But this exotic matter with negative energy, we've never seen it, we have no idea what it is, so this is the second problem. By the way, Kip Thorne received the Nobel Prize in 2017 by detecting the gravitational wave. And also, he supervised the black hole simulation in a movie Interstellar. Okay, so what is this exotic matter? You might think Casimir effect. So Casimir effect it's zero-point fluctuation in quantum mechanics. So in quantum mechanics, if you put two plates very close to each other, very, very close, then there's a zero-point fluctuation from quantum mechanics in between the plate, and this fluctuation is going to push these plates a little bit apart. So this is Casimir force, and then we know this force is repulsive. So you might wonder, this Casimir force may be used to keep the wormhole open. However, this Casimir effect is very, very tiny, so it's not strong enough to keep the wormhole open. Gravity is much, much stronger force. This doesn't work, unfortunately. You might also think dark energy can be exotic matter. You know that I talked about in a previous video about the Einstein's biggest blunder. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. Dark energy is a repulsive force and keep expanding the universe bigger and bigger and bigger. This is a repulsive force, so dark energy may be exotic matter. However, dark energy is even smaller than Casimir effect. So again, the effect is not strong enough to keep the wormhole open. Gravity is very strong force in a very small scale. So the second challenge is this exotic matter we require to keep wormhole open. We never seen it. We have no idea what it is. That's the second program. However, I have one last interesting topic here. Wormhole can be used as a time machine. In an episode of Star Trek Voyager, Starship Voyager was blown away to the other side of the galaxy. On its long journey to return to the Earth, Voyager found a wormhole that leads to the Earth. So they're excited, and if they use this wormhole, they might be able to instantly go back to the Earth. However, they later found it out that this wormhole is leading to the Earth, but in the past. So they couldn't go back to their time on the Earth, but instead they go back to the past. So it was not so useful. And then this can happen. Let me explain. Imagine this wormhole. So you go in from the yellow side and you go out from the blue side. That's how we use wormhole. But what if this blue side is moving at a very fast speed? Remember in the last video, I talked about the twin paradox. One of the twins who travel at a very fast speed, then this girl's clock is going to be slower than her twin not moving on the Earth. So by the time she travels around the universe and comes back to the Earth, her twin is going to be a grandpa. So that's a twin paradox. The same thing can happen to the wormhole. If the blue side is moving around at a very fast speed, the clock on the blue side of the wormhole is gonna tick more slowly than the yellow side. The yellow side is staying still, so the clock ticks at a normal rate. So if you go into the wormhole from yellow side, and then blue side is moving very fast, the clock is running slow, so you can, by the time you go out from the blue side, because the clock is ticking slowly, you go back into the past. So if we can make a wormhole, we can use it as a time machine. That's also theoretically possible. That's very interesting. So that Star Trek Voyager's episode had a theoretical background. That's one thing amazing about Star Trek. In summary, creating wormhole is theoretically not impossible, but there are two challenges. One is we don't know where to open a wormhole. Second challenge is it's also very difficult to keep it open. But if we can create a wormhole at the same time, maybe we can create a time machine. That's very interesting. Okay, and then next time I'm going to show you how wormhole is going to look like if it's there. And then also I'm going to show you how to destroy it. Please subscribe to my channel and then wait a while for my next video. Okay, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like it. See you next time. Live long and prosper. Energize.